In the heart of Bolton, amidst its cobblestone streets and bustling markets, lived the Smith family. Colin and Kate Smith were a beacon of happiness in their quaint corner of England, with their young son Oliver, affectionately known as Ollie, completing their picture-perfect family. As the Smiths set out for a date night evening together at the local cinema, they left Ollie in the care of his doting grandfather, Harry Smith. But tragedy struck. A reckless motorbike veered into their path on their way home. Colin tried to avoid the bike by swerving off the road, but he crashed into a tree, killing him and his wife instantly and leaving young Ollie orphaned. Amidst all the grief, Ollie's granddad Harry stepped up to take care for his grandson, wrapping him in love and protection. Together over the years, they forged a bond that transcended generations. They spent weekends fishing by the nearby river, and they would spend most evenings immersed in classic old movies. And every weekend they could be found cheering on their beloved Bolton Wanderers from the stands. As Ollie grew, so did his talent for football. Nurtured by Harry's watchful eye and one-to-one training sessions in the garden, he recognised Ollie's potential and enrolled him in the local youth team, where Ollie's prowess as a centre-back shone brightly. Ollie's team's triumph in the local cup was a testament to Ollie's skill and determination, filling Harry with pride as he watched his grandson lift the trophy as the team's captain. With a new season starting, 3 of the local big teams had started to take notice of Ollie. Manchester United, Everton and Liverpool had all sent scouts to watch this exciting young talent. Yet fate dealt Ollie yet another cruel blow. A vicious tackle in the first game of the new season for his youth side shattered Ollie's knee, an injury that could be repaired, but an injury that would kill the young lad's dreams of ever playing professional football. Despair gripped Ollie as the doors of opportunity closed on him. Harry had hoped that maybe these big clubs, who had courted his grandson so much over the past few months, would step in to help, but they all turned their backs on Harry and Ollie, leaving Harry to pick up the pieces of his beloved grandson's heart. With Ollie's dreams and his knee shattered, Harry refused to give up on his grandson. He was fueled by his love for Ollie and felt too much had been taken away from him already. He embarked on a relentless quest for a solution. After weeks and weeks of researching on the internet, Harry discovered a groundbreaking knee treatment in the USA. This modern clinic had developed a revolutionary treatment that could save the boy's football dream, but it would cost a lot of money. Harry spared no expense. He sold his home to fund Ollie's chance of redemption and pay for the operation. Now they were set to go to Los Angeles, and Harry knew this procedure was a long shot. It would be a chance worth taking if Ollie had even a 10% chance of playing at some kind of level in the future. The surgery was long, but it was also a success, but it left the Smiths with little but each other. Now living in a caravan park on the outskirts of Bolton, Ollie was determined to repay his grandfather's sacrifice. With grit and determination, he resumed playing for his local youth team and soon picked up where he'd left off before his injury, quickly catching the attention of the very clubs that had once abandoned him. Yet Ollie's loyalty lay elsewhere. Disenchanted by the lack of faith shown by the big clubs, he turned down all their offers and made a bold decision. Rejecting the larger pay, he pledged his allegiance to Bolton Wanderers, a team in the 3rd tier of English football, but a team he and his grandfather loved very much. Yes, the money was less, and yes, the spotlight on him playing for Bolton would be small, but he didn't care. As Ollie stepped onto the pitch for the very first time with the roar of the crowd echoing around him, he knew he had found his true home. He could see his grandfather looking on proudly in the stands, and with every pass, every tackle, he knew that one day he would pay back his granddad's faith in him, even if he had to take a longer road to the top. The future was uncertain, but with Harry by his side and the love of Bolton coursing through his veins, Ollie knew that he had nothing to worry about anymore. And he hoped that somehow, some way, his parents too could see him and that they were proud of him too. In the game of life, sometimes the greatest victories are not found in trophies or fame, but in the love that binds us together. So can Ollie make it to the top of world football? Will Ollie stay loyal to Bolton Wanderers? Well, we will find out in the story of the comeback kid. Hello, I'm Boone and welcome to the channel. As always, thanks for joining me. It's massively appreciated. I love you long time. Make sure you do all the good stuff to support the series, the episode and me. Hit the thumbs up, get involved in the comments, subscribe if you're new and hit that bell and you'll never miss anything I do, like a brand new story on FM24. Yes, it's the comeback kid. Now, if you watch some previous videos, I keep mentioning that I'm working on something with my good friend Lee Greenshields, aka Greeno. It's his story and his concept. I'm basically the editor and I'm taking part in it, but it's a different way of telling a story. But it is quite complex, a lot of editing, a lot of moving parts, and we did want it out this week, but it's getting delayed a little bit, so that's hopefully going to be out next week. So I've got a couple of stories. So I thought, right, get myself an easy one that I could put together. And this is it. Quite a simple story. Quite a nice tale. He's come back. Can he make a career of it? Now, I wanted to make a player that would be quite loyal. And I've also chosen Bolton Wanderers because at the minute I'm doing a lot of work in Bolton. And I drive past that stadium about 10 times a week. So it's stuck in my head. So that's why I chose Bolton Wanderers. But this is the story of Ollie Smith. Let's have a look at him. Here is young Ollie. He's 19 years old. Now, with a lot of these videos, it's obviously a wonder kid story. A lot of the time, the superstar players, and Ollie could have been maybe a wonder kid without that injury. He missed a lot of football, a good year of youth team football, even though big clubs are still interested, and even though he still has the potential to be a good top player, an elite player really. He could play in the Premier League if things go his way, but he's not a top max average rated player. So I've just made him good. So we'll see how it works out for him, because I've not made him injury prone majorly. He has a chance that he could be injured because obviously that knee has been rebuilt in America. Will it hold out? We'll have to find out. And I wanted to try and make him loyal. I want a player to actually stay loyal, because Bolton are obviously in the 3rd tier. He does have the potential to play at a higher level. Sometimes you do this. They'll stay at the team you've put them at in the story for a season, maybe 2, and then they're off. So I was hoping for more from Ollie, but I will say one thing. Something happens at the end that I always want to happen in these videos, and I'm pretty sure it's never happened. So I can't wait to share that with you. Anyway, let's get into Ollie. He's of course English, and he is of course from Bolton. That's how they pronounce it, isn't it? Bolton. Not too far from Manchester. Takes me about half an hour in the morning to get to on a bus on the motorway, and about an hour and a half to get home. Don't know why, traffic probably. But he's a Bolton fan, of course, just like his granddad. Now, I've given him Lance Striker, the agent, because he's a good agent. I created him for my first story. If you haven't seen that, go and check it out, Forged in Deception. In the next story, though, I didn't use one. He didn't have an agent in the last story. But yeah, I've given him Lance Striker. Hopefully, he will look after his career. Now, you can see long-term plans. There's a preference to play for Bolton. Don't want to play for City because I don't like City. Don't want to play for United, Liverpool or Everton because, you know, they came in, give him loads of stuff. Oh, come aside for us, got injured, and they all went, no, see you later. None of them wanted to pay for his operation in America. It was too risky. They all discarded him. But I've added a few others. Arsenal, Chelsea, Newcastle, Spurs, all the big teams in the Premier League. If he goes to the Premier League, I want him to go somewhere else. Somewhere decent, help a team instead of the usual. You know what I mean? Going to a big team. He may go abroad. We'll find out. But I want him to help Bolton. Bolton. Come on, Ollie. I've tried to lock him into Bolton, or at least have Bolton compensated if he goes. He's on £5 a week. He's got, what, a 5-year contract and $1 million minimum fees that cover every single clause of a minimum fee you can find within the editor. I mean, if Bolton get 100 million for him, happy days. Of course, zero history, clean slate, Sky Bet League One. Come on. I mean, Bolton, you know, in the Premier League for a long, long time. I've been to the Bolton Stadium once to watch an Oasis concert. It was brilliant. My one and only memory, really, because I was hammered and young and probably took too many things I shouldn't, was when you went into one of the stands, there was a gigantic truck, a beer truck, with conveyor belts coming off it. I didn't dream this, I wasn't tripping. It was just beer coming down a conveyor belt, and you queue up with a little cardboard box, and then you get there and they just fill it up with 4 beers. Hey, and it was just conveyor belts of beer. And I met someone off TV. He was in Hollyoaks. We were sat next to him. Can't remember his name either. Anyway, enough of that. It's an updated one, isn't it? We got 8 points deducted from Wigan, 6 points deducted from Reading. Ouch. But I mean, Bolton, Premier League for so long, can only get them back anywhere near there. Well, I didn't check. Are Bolton favourites in this division? I'm not sure they were, but they are now with Ollie Smith in the team. So let's get into it. Let's jump forward and find out what Ollie Smith got up to over the next couple of years. Well, we've jumped forward 4 years and Ollie Smith is still at Bolton Wanderers. Is that going to affect him long-term, career-wise? He's 23. How much progressing is he going to do? I mean, you can see he's not a wonder kid. It's just a centre-back. Do you know what I mean? He's a good player and he is wanted. We'll have a look at that in a minute. But he spent 4 years at Bolton. And in fact, helped Bolton get into the Premier League. They've got a new manager now, Steve Cooper. But they've just got promoted. They went straight up that first year with Ollie Smith at the back, commanding the defence. Then they finished 17th, 4th, and then 3rd. So they've gone up, and he's helped them, and he's stayed there. I'm buzzing with that. He's also the best player, and only the vice captain now. I mean, he's a young lad. Fair play. And they're getting taken over. I mean, things are looking up for Bolton, and things are looking up for Ollie. It's Real Madrid who fancy him. Real Madrid. Now, he's on 25 grand a week. He's obviously signed a new deal there. It's to 2030. So Real Madrid are going to have to spend some money if they want him. And even though I didn't make him massively injury prone, but I didn't make him like Bruno Fernandes, if you know what I mean, never gets injured. He's been pretty consistent, pretty solid. Played over 40 games most years, apart from his first season. Great average rating. Finally gets Bolton to the Premier League, but there's a good chance here he might not play for Bolton in the Premier League. Because yes, within a week, Real Madrid sign him. So, you know, Bolton in the Premier League has helped him. They're going to have that Premier League cash. They're going to have a lot of money from Ollie Smith. So hopefully Bolton can lay that foundation, stay in the Premier League. I mean, Real Madrid, fantastic club, probably the best in the world. The reason I'm wearing my Real Madrid top because they knocked City out of the Champions League, but also because I knew he was going to sign for Real Madrid. But will it work out for him? Because I look at his attributes and you can see he is good. But is he like top level, or is he just going to be like a bit art player? Well, they paid 62 million for him, so Bolton should be in a good place. So we'll check out Bolton later. I'm just hoping for good things here. I mean, Barcelona have been winning La Liga in this little Bootyverse edition, and so can Ollie be a part of something special. We're going to jump forward now to the 1st of July 2033, and this is Bolton Wanderers, and they are in the Premier League. But did they stay in the Premier League? No, they actually got relegated that first year, and they've actually been in the Championship up until now. 9th, 6th, 3rd, 7th, but they've just won the Championship. I mean, they would have had some money from that season, and it's took them a few years, but it's good that they've not just crashed and burned without him. That, you know, they've got back in the Championship, sorted the stuff out, and got back to the Premier League. Maybe they'll stay there. And I don't know if you've noticed, but with those first few years and his love for Bolton love Ollie Smith too, because he's actually a legend. How's he been going on with the legends of Real Madrid? Well, here he is, and he's 29 years old, and I was fascinated by his attributes because he was 23 when he moved, and you can see a drastic, massive improvement. Obviously, he's playing in a better league with a big, massive club with quality players, but he has massively improved, I think, as a player. Obviously, age helped. But, you know, they do say, you know, players can stop, you know, getting better after 24, 25. So I was buzzing because now he looks great. He's a legendary centre-back at 29. And it looks like he has been playing consistently for Real Madrid. I mean, check that out. Every season. I think he had a bit of an injury that year. But look at his average rating. He's a fantastic player, and he deserves it. Good lad with his robot knee. And he's on mega money there, isn't he? I think he definitely bought his granddad a house in Bolton, in the Caribbean, and maybe a little lodge in the Swiss Alps. Wow. Minimum fee release clause of 406 million. He's probably going to be staying at Real Madrid, isn't he? But look at that. Is it the Ollie Smith touch at the back? It can't just be him. But since they've signed him, Real Madrid have won the league every year since. Now we'll look at everything he achieves at the end, because there's still a lot more stories to tell for Ollie Smith. Now here we are with Ollie Smith in 2038, and I said at the beginning something very special happened. Something I always want to happen when these little superstars start somewhere and they go off to these big teams. I always want them to go home at some point, and they never do. They never do. Until now. Ollie Smith's love of Bolton has took him back to Bolton. Now I messed up with my save files. For 2037, I don't know what happened to it. I think he overwrote it with another one. So we're here in 2038, where he has actually spent a full season at Bolton. He went back to Bolton. I was honestly buzzing with this. Now, once Bolton got back to the Premier League, they stayed in the Premier League, right? And they've obviously built on that and become a Premier League team. And Ollie, after what is that, nearly 10 years at Real Madrid, moved home to Bolton for 15.25 million, where he's had a stellar season. This kid has just been consistent his entire career. And not only that, Ollie Smith has helped Bolton finish 7th in the Premier League and got him European football. He's going to have a European campaign with his beloved Bolton. Unfortunately, his granddad's dead. His granddad's died. He's like 95 years old. You never got to see him return back to Bolton, and you won't get to see him play for him and go on a European adventure, but we will. I've just got a shout out to my friends Bobby and Lee, who great guys, who watch my stuff and are Spurs fans and are always moaning, especially after watching my first story this year with one of them superstars who went to Spurs and won nothing. There you go, look. Spurs have won something good on Football Manager for once, so the champions. So what can 34-year-old Ollie Smith do? I'm excited. He's contracted till 24. He's got 2 more years on his deal. And, I'm hoping he sees out his career with Bolton. We'll have to find out. I was hoping he could win things. Now, he's won stuff. We know he's won some titles with Real Madrid, and we will look at everything at the end. Because it's not just his club career. He's had 134 caps for England. He's still got Lance Striker as his agent. He knows that man looks after him. But yeah, buzzing. So what does he do? Well, that year in 2038, Ollie Smith retired from playing for England. He was getting on a bit. He's now 36 years old. It's 2040. And you can see up there, he's about to join a team in Saudi Arabia. His contract's coming to an end. They were sniffing around him. They were interested in him when he was at Real Madrid. There's a point when there's like 4 or 5 Saudi teams after him, and I thought that's where he'd go. He didn't, and that's what I've loved about Ollie Smith. Breaking the freaking mould of these kind of videos and going back to Bolton, but it looks like he's got a Saudi on a free. Big payday, of course. I was just happy he went back to Bolton. He's had 3 great seasons, 3 consistent seasons up until this last one. Maybe that's why they felt like, you're a legend, mate. You're getting old. It's your first season where your average rating has dropped under a 7. So, he's probably on the slide. Fair play to him for going to Saudi for a big payday. But before we go to Saudi, I thought we'd have a look at what he got up to. I'll go on his bio at the end, I'll let you pause it, but I'm just going to scroll through this quickly because he's done some bits. Obviously, Real Madrid, he's stacked it all up. Champions League, La Ligas. But he won the World Cup with England 6 years ago, which was nice. And then I think Bolton had won the FA Cup or something because he was in the Community Shield. And then he was a World Cup winner again. And that's when he retired. And then Bolton have gone on to be Europa League winners and Super Cup winners. They won the freaking Europa League and then beat the Champions League winner. So they beat Southampton in that final. Wow. Which means they would have played Chelsea, who've won back-to-back Champions League in the Super Cup and beat them. Absolutely love that. That's brilliant. It's got to be the Ollie Smith effect. It's got to be that, with 62 million for a player for Bolton. And I know they went back down into the Championship, but I don't see Bolton coming to the Premier League often. Maybe not even the Championship. So maybe that Ollie move, fans understood it. He's gone to Real Madrid. He's done his bit for him. They've laid maybe that foundation. They've turned into an half-decent team and they've winning trophies. But now he's off to Saudi, where he spent 1 season in Saudi. And at 37 years old, after 1 year, where he was on 800 grand a week, by the way, they've released him. Now, I was excited in a way because he's retired from international football. He hadn't retired from football. He said he was considering his future in football, considering options. And I'm thinking, he could go on a little bit here. Has he got another move? No, he retired. I was gutted at 37. I thought he could have gone 38, 39. But he might have 1 more move left in him. Come back to England, go back to Bolton. Although they won't want him. So he's finished as a manager. We don't go any further with him. I did. He doesn't get a job, and that's it. He fully retires, which is unfortunate. What a career for such a good player. And I really liked Ollie Smith. It's a pretty simple story, but I liked it because I try making loyal players. It don't always work out. I think he gave enough time to Bolton. He's going to have a great career at Real Madrid, but he's come back, and I don't think I've ever seen that on one of my videos, but they've come back. And then a Bolton team that's won an FA Cup, he kicks off with a Community Shield, helps them go on, finishing decent in the league, getting into Europe, wins a European trophy, beats the Champions League a team. Absolutely brilliant. Obviously wins, I think he won the World Cup twice. Back-to-back World Cups. Do you know what I mean? So I'm really, I like it. It's like I said, it's a simple one. But I like how it works. I like the story of it. Because you're just simulating it. And you never know what you're going to get. Sometimes it's disappointing. But I personally loved how this one turned out. Perfect career, really. Perfect story. Ollie Smith, he deserves it after what happened to him with his mum and dad and all that, doesn't it? And he's a legend, and he will forever be a legend of Bolton Wanderers. And they're still in the Premier League. Probably all thanks to Ollie Smith. So, as always, thank you for watching. It is massively appreciated. I really do appreciate your view. But if you feel that little bit more generous, hit the thumbs up, get involved in the comments, subscribe if you're new, and hit that bell, and you'll never miss anything I do. Like I said, there's going to be a big story with a different format. It's completely different to what I normally do with Greeno coming soon. Got another Greeno story in the pipeline. Got another couple myself in the pipeline. One called Romeo and Julienne. You'll see what I mean when it comes out. But yeah, stay tuned for the stories. I'm busy for the next few weeks, so story a week, and then I have got a series idea to hopefully see out FM24. I've got loads of ideas really. It's just the time. I don't have a lot of it at the minute, so I appreciate you spending your time watching me. So that's it. Stay happy, stay safe. I'm Bood. Don't go missing. Bye bye.